Okay. Do we do a freestyle? Let me turn this off. Okay. Beating the Ducks. What's going on, y'all? We are back at it again with a live stream. Haven't done one since, Last of Us, I think. But we are here to watch Riri and the conclusion to this first and possibly last season. We'll see. Looks like it, all depends on how the numbers are, what have you. But we're here, man. Make sure we're all good on my end because I know this connection is unstable. Are we good? Let me know if you guys can hear me okay, and if it's coming in any choppy at all. I guess I can check on my end, see how it looks. But it's showing the little internet signal is going up and down. Let me anyway. Appreciate y'all joining me again. We're gonna be doing a watch party, watching the episode live, getting some live reactions, probably edit it tomorrow, get it all okay. It looks like it's fine. Yeah, it looks good on my end. We'll get it all up tomorrow. As far as like if there's any big moments, we'll put it up tomorrow as far as thoughts, reviews, reactions, and what have you. But you guys will get the live reaction, live in the flesh once tonight's episodes drop. What's going on, Justin? What's going on? Thank you. Okay, sounds good. Appreciate it. What's going on, Bucky? Everyone in the chat, how are we doing this evening? Are we excited? Are we nervous? Are we indifferent of tonight's 4, 5, 6 back half of the Ironheart series? How are we feeling about the first 3 so far? I did a review last week, like quick little reviews, just kind of share my thoughts on individual episodes after I watched them. And, as I said in those videos, I'm thinking the series is okay. I don't think it's in that upper tier as far as, in my opinion, like the Low Keys of the world, WandaVisions of the world, which I think are the 2 best shows that Marvel has produced, in my humble opinion. Wasn't the biggest fan of a lot of it, even more recently with Daredevil, but neither here nor there. I think Ironheart's kind of in the middle of the pack for me personally, but it's nowhere near as bad as people will lead you to believe it is with the negative feedback and what have you on the show. But we're gonna see what this. This is we only got one part of the story, and we're getting into the second half in less than 5 minutes. Which apparently, for those that got the opportunity to see the full season, which I haven't, only saw, I'm watching it with you all. Apparently, tonight's 3 episodes is apparently really good. So We'll see. We'll see. And I see some Mephistos in the chat. Yeah, apparently he's gonna be making an appearance tonight. I think it's been rumored for over a year now that that's been the case. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows? It's always Mephisto. What, since WandaVision, that character name, no one knew who he was prior to WandaVision. Well, I don't say no one, but like non-comic book readers didn't know who a Mephisto was until WandaVision, and when all that blew up. But apparently we're gonna see him tonight, so we'll see. We'll see. I think we will, honestly. I think based on promotions, I think it's episode 5. Marvel's been kind of showing their hand at that, so wouldn't been. I think Sacha Baron Cohen was casted as the character. We'll see. What is this? It's not as bad as She-Hulk, or nothing's as bad as Secret Invasion. Oof, Secret Invasion was, in my humble opinion, the worst thing that Marvel has done to date. Like, without a doubt. Easily. No second thought about it. Absolute garbage. What a bad show. And so much potential too. Sam Jackson, Ben Mendelsohn, Olivia Colman, Khaleesi, Emilia Clarke, Kingsley Benadir. Man, it's really interesting story, but I don't even think you call that a fumble. They just completely F that show up top to bottom. But yeah, Riri and Ironheart's nowhere near the bottom. I would say it's like sitting in the middle pack for me. Like I would think for me, and again, we haven't had the full story, but basically these first 3 episodes, it's kind of, I would put it in that Moon Knight, better than She-Hulk so far for me. What other shows have there been? I like Miss Marvel more. Got to flesh out the character a little bit more, even though I like the action in this show more than I do with Miss Marvel. But I think the characters were written better in Miss Marvel so far. Yeah, it's in the middle. It's in the middle for me. But again, we'll see how the back half ends. It might climb up, might stay where it's at, or might go down. We'll find out in less than 8 minutes or 2 minutes. And just an FYI, the way we're going to do tonight's stream, similar to what we do on all of our live watch parties, I'm going to pull up a clock here for you all to time it. For those that are watching live or watching the replay, we'll have a little timer here popping up shortly. And we will, obviously, I can't put the images on the screen due to copyright reasons, but you guys have Disney Plus. I hope so. If not, I guess you'll just hear my live commentary on the episode if you don't have Disney Plus. But either way, we'll get the clock going, and then after each episode, what I'll probably do is give like a quick, brief little review on the episode, thoughts, what have you, and then we'll start the next episode and so on and so forth, and rocking on out till we get to the last episode, which again, apparently we are in for a treat. All right, so we got that set up. Got that. All right. Hold on 1 second, guys. All right. Let me get Disney Plus rolled up here. But again, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Hit that like button, share button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, because we are streaming not only on YouTube, but also on, what else are we on? X and Facebook. So if you happen to come across this stream, welcome. Hope you all are having a good Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. Hope you're enjoying your day, and hopefully it gets, if you haven't, hopefully it gets better with this, with tonight's stream and these episodes. Is it ready? Black Magic. All right, we got 52, 59, 41. All right, let's go ahead and get this started, because it's going to be a chunky episodes. All right, let me get my situation situated. All right. Black Magic. I think the title, what we can expect in this episode. She got his cloak or a piece of his cloak last week, so she's gonna probably experiment with it. All right, so I'm gonna press play. I'm gonna play trailers previously on. So as soon as I hit the clock, we are starting. So with all that being said, pressing. Oh, hold on. Make sure I'm good. All right, pressing play now. Is this the Eyes of Wakanda trailer? This looks like a Pixar movie as far as the animation goes. Return to Wakanda. I didn't really show too much. We'll see. August 27th. We'll see. All right, y'all. Let's go, Riri. Again, I'm playing the trailers and the previously on, which is showing right now. Oh, you can get the trailer? I mean, you didn't miss anything, Bucky. It was literally 5 seconds. All right. Yeah, I play the replay. Yeah, it's throwing the recap now. I'll let you guys know when the episode officially starts. Here we go. The episode has officially started. Marvel Studio, the Marvel Television logo just popped up. Oh, this must be a flashback. Is this where he gets the cloak of the hood? You guys think? Whose house this is? Any Easter egg hunters out there? You guys see anything in the background or anything? Any pictures? I wish we would have maybe got this flashback, other scenes with John and Parker prior to his death. He knows it's Riri, right? Or Riri has something to do with it, with the vision last week that he got from. Hmm. I love the title cards in these shows. It reminds me of Atlanta, which I think some of the creators from Atlanta are part of this show. She hella paranoid. Rampage. Yeah. I think my clock is a little bit ahead. I'm gonna pause this clock before I can catch up here. Oh boy. Mm. You know why? Because the evidence at the crime scene. You know that, Riri. Oh, maybe she doesn't know. Hmm. I mean, I knew this was going to happen. I think we all knew this. And now the origins of another villain begins. That's crazy because obviously the public thinks of Obadiah as a saint, and they don't know about his what really happened to him. Mm. One would assume he's going to use his hood to break him out. And they're going to team up to take down Riri. Pepper can't bail him out. I don't think there's any love lost between Pepper and that family, considering that his dad tried to murder Tony. And look, Pepper don't be helping no one. She ain't give freaking Sam help when he needed money. Sam help when he needed money. Hey, what's going on, Easy? Pep didn't like Tony 90% of the time. What's up, Aisha? I think it speaks more than Pepper than Ezekiel. Yeah, for sure. But honestly, I mean, we all know uh Gwyneth Paltrow probably won't be seeing her anytime soon. She don't even know when she's in a Marvel movie. She has to be in Doomsday, right? Who? Riri? I would imagine so, because I think we're gonna get a version of the Young Avengers. Oh, Pepper? I don't know. Possibly. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. Get everyone that knows Tony, or Victor Von Doom, who looks like Tony. Yeah, I would imagine she's included in the film. Wouldn't surprise me. Me, as making things worse. It's impressive, really. Yeah, she does come with a unfortunate bit of luck. I like their little relationship. Well, the will they, won't they? He doesn't even know that Natalie's. Well, I'm saying Natalie's back, but he hasn't seen the AI version of Natalie, has he? Which we know is his sister. I like the see, and that's what the thing I like about this show is the relationship. I wish we would could get more moments with Riri and her mom, and Riri and Victor. Less of the ragtag robbing group, and more of the Riri stuff. I like. Who is this girl? She looks so familiar. I know her from. I'm so glad they brought Cree Summers back. But who's that? Who's the girl? Her daughter. She looks so familiar. Zelma. What the hell? How'd she do that? What is going on right now? Who taught her how to use magic? Is she a Marvel character? Saying Zelda? Zelma? Zelma Staten was a librarian from the Bronx who had been infected by the mind maggots and formed growth in her head. Okay. Kamatosh. Okay. Yeah, we have heard of Doctor Strange. Okay, now getting interesting. Okay. Where was this in the first half of the show? This is so cool. Okay. Now they cooking. I like this. I like this. Yeah, black sorcerers. Got some Lovecraft country going on here. I love it. I like this. Mm, okay. Now we cooking. Now we cooking. So she used to be a Karmata. She used to train with Doctor Strange and Wong. Had a baby who knows magic. The little brief character synopsis seemed like Zelma is a Marvel character, and I think this kind of lines up because I remember reading somewhere that Marvel's been thinking about doing a Strange Academy TV show. So they planting potentially planting the seeds for that. People like Ned and Zelma, and obviously America Chavez. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. The American Society of Magical Negroes. Mhm. Oh, it is kinda I gotta this is a little nitpick of mine. I think it's, um, weird that she goes around Chicago with her suit and no one's, like, tried to jack her for her suit. I figured he was gonna come. I ain't gonna lie, this team up kinda feels like, Morbius and, Vulture. So that's who he was referring to replace Riri as the tech guy or the tech replacement after I assume they're gonna try to kill her. But no, in all seriousness, like I'm surprised Riri hasn't been checked by anyone to be like, you have an Iron Man suit? We gonna need that from you. Nanotech was weak. Nanotech was decent. I prefer getting in and out of the suit like we've seen in the show and we've seen Tony done before, but nanotech has its place when used properly. This is a contender for my favorite episode of the season thus far. Some Erica Badu playing, vibing out with the science, tech, little experiments. Yeah, I'm vibing with this episode. Would you say, Bucky? They really playing the on this day. Yo, I love it. I love it. I'm liking this. Yeah, Iron Man 3. I was thinking he had a little PTSD, but she's obviously dealing with the panic attacks of the pressure, and someone as smart as Riri, not being able to figure something out can really, be a detriment to her mental health. It's that character stuff, man. This is why you never judge a book by its cover, man. Gotta let things play out. Again, I wasn't in love with the first three, but they were building, tiny building blocks to get these moments here. So I was thinking the same thing with the I Can't Breathe. So I'm like, I can just see someone clipping that and be like, oh, they're being Disney being woke, but you gotta ignore those idiots. Oh, snap! Is this gonna be his first time seeing Natalie, or oh, is he gonna? Okay, I thought it was gonna be his first time seeing that because I don't think they've interacted yet. Oh boy, this is first I'm seeing Natalie. Yep. This is not gonna. Mm. Safe to say they saved the best stuff for the last back half of the season. Less of the silly posse and more of the Riri stuff. I like this. And this conversation that Riri and Xavier is having is a conversation that people do deal with as far as that using AI and using technology to, you know, deal with their feelings and not human interaction. Store brand justice. And the supervillain is now being created. Angela Barnes. Okay. I didn't thought the ending was a little on the nose, but let me pause this. All right. You know, let me let's talk about this before we go on to the next episode. Move this out of the way real quick. Just a little brief thoughts on the episodes. Let me know what y'all will give that episode as far as a rating goes. Let me just get this out the way. All right. So yeah, let's talk about episode 5 or 4 before we get into episode 5, which seems to be pretty interesting. Let me get this out the way right quick. So episode 4 was probably my favorite episode of the season so far. Like, it took its time. The first 3 episodes had its highs and lows and kind of mixed bag, but this is the building blocks. We build to these moments to build on the characters that have these kind of payoffs. And so far, the payoffs was pretty solid in this 4th episode. The Zelma of it all, being that her mom, Cree Summers, was an ex-sorcerer at the Karamatage with Doctor Strange and Wong, is a very interesting setup. Very, very interested to know if she has history with those 2 characters, Wong and Doctor Strange, but also Zelma having this ability to conjure magic is really interesting. And from what I understand, I believe she is a character from the comics, Zelma, and she has ties to the Strange Academy, which is something I know Marvel's been talking about for a little bit, creating that show with obviously a Zelma. You know, Ned has his mythical abilities, being a sorcerer that we saw from No Way Home, and of course, America Chavez. So they're building little building blocks. Young Avengers, Strange Academy. Obviously, we'll get the X-Men and X-Mansion. So I like the setup in this episode. Hopefully, we get more of Zelma in the future, not only of the MCU, but in particularly with this show. But yeah, I like the stuff that we got going on there. I like this character development, the Riri, someone that's as intellectual and smart and so 10 steps ahead, and seeing her not having the answers and seeing how her character deal with that and having the anxiety attacks was a really interesting spin on the character. And you know I'm a person that like my characters flawed, right? Riri's not perfect, and in this episode, we saw Ezekiel calling her out, manipulate her, do what you need to do to make sure you're covered. I like that stuff what they're doing there. The soundtrack in this episode was fire. The stuff with Riri and Ronnie, her mom, was really good. I'm liking that development. As I said in the previous episodes, the ragtag heist group wasn't really working for me, but Ronnie, Natalie, Xavier, Ezekiel, Parker, like all that stuff was really rich and really well done this episode, in my opinion. Only thing that was maybe a little bit of a on the nose was the team up of the villains, with Parker breaking Ezekiel out and being the replacement of Riri, and then the whole we're gonna put a hit job on her. Like, I don't think they're capable of killing people, the rest of that crew. But neither way, I thought this was a really solid episode. The magical stuff really sold me. I like the world building and the MCU connections. That's some really nice stuff there. So a really solid episode. Like I said, this is my favorite episode of the season so far. But it is time to check out episode 5. Put your scores of episode 4 in the comments now. Do you guys think this is the best one? Because I definitely do. And they setting something up. So we're gonna go ahead and get this 5th episode started here, and see if we get the Mr. Mephisto. Let me get this set up here. Karma's a glitch is the next episode. All right. Should I take my dog out now? I think he should be okay. Let me see. We'll try to get this episode. Much better. I agree. Who wrote this? I think it says something Barnes, if I'm not mistaken. I have to go back and look at it, but I think this is their first episode. I don't remember seeing that name in the previous episode. Best written show, or best written episode. They put real money in the CGI. I agree. We got an 8. We got an A. Yeah, best episode. Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and get episode 5 ready, because apparently this is the one that we might get a big cameo. Let's go ahead and get this set up here. We'll go here and get this 5th episode going. I think for whatever reason, whenever I put the clock up, is where my internet slows down on my end. So I think I might have to periodically have that clock going in the background. All right. So 5. All right. We'll start episode 5. Let me just share screen. All right. Episode 5. Starting at 5, 4, 3, 2, pressing play now. And I'm actually going to skip the intro on this one because just so I can make it easier to time. Won't let me skip? Guess not. We are now on episode 5. Karma's a glitch. All right, let me actually pause the timer. Yeah, I'm going to skip the teaser. All right, so it's a minute. Hold on, let me catch up here. A minute 08. Show them. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just skip it. Just get to, I think it's at 108. Yeah, 108. So in 4, 3, 2, 1, boom. Just like a half a second late. Okay, it's like a half second. Episode 5, y'all. It's so interesting to see Natalie with these emotions and AI with an emotional capacity to love, to be upset. How'd they find her or find the suit? I have to save her suit, which is Natalie. Dormammu. I always say Dormammu. Yeah, Dormammu, yeah. Mm. Mm. There go the world building, the Marvel, Doctor Strange. Dude, I like Zelma. I like Zelma, y'all. This is a character that I can see continuing on in MCU, hopefully. I cannot take them serious, man. This crew is so goofy to me. She got magic. Oh my gosh. I love the title cards. So fun. This is so goofy. Get over here. You missed some White Castle. Is she growling? Please stop talking. Please stop talking. I cannot stand these rugrats. They're gonna kill her in a public setting. Nice. Nice. Very smart. Very, very smart. Oh my gosh, dude. I cannot stand this crew of idiots. This is the part of the show that since the beginning I was like, I am not a fan of this crew. They are in a different show. I hope we can, I wish we can get out of this scene like quickly because it's so good. These just reminds me of like a mixture of the tracksuit mafia and the extremists people. This reminds me of Iron Man 3 when he was fighting that girl in the kitchen. It was so goofy. So stupid. Did she just say come out and let's fight? This is goofy as shit, dude. This is Spy Kids level of insanity. All right. Can we get past that ridiculousness, guys? That was pretty rough. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my gosh. This is rough. This is rough. This is some She-Hulk stuff right now. Okay. They got a lot of making up to do. That was rough. This last 15 minutes was rough. Is that Ezekiel? Shot her down? Please get better. Please don't be stupid again. Is this Spider-Man 2? The Amazing Spider-Man 2? See Electro? What is going on with this cheesy CW writing? There was a game on PlayStation where you had, like, electricity powers. Oh, what's the name of it? Infamous? I think it was called Infamous. Oh, wow, that plot armor is pretty thick. I mean, I know he's not a killer, but he's now willing to let her. Okay. Han Solo would never. That was bad. There's no and ifs or buts about it. That was that. This opening is pretty rough. Writing, performances, decisions. Wow. Oh boy. All right, we got 30 minutes to make up for that. Ooh, that was rough. That was rough. It's a little heavy-handed right now. It's writing a little bit too on the nose for me, but I get what they're going for, but it's a little bit more finesse. A sweet moment. Wow. Goddamn. Oh, Ironheart. That was a nice little memory. Still ain't make up for that Spy Kids opening, but that was nice. Selma. I didn't even put two and two together that her new suit's gonna be built from the car. That's pretty cool. Parker was really shaping up to be someone pretty interesting, but now they just giving him the typical villain tropes. And they just resorting to the lowest common denominator now with just their tropey, stereotypical plots. Wouldn't Parker be able to see the dead? We don't exactly know how he was able to see, well, whatever the entity Dormammu or Mephisto gave him the abilities, but I guess he's just not revealing it because it's not a part of the plan, whatever their plan is. Yeah, he saw his cousin, but I think that was to play into the demons, the entities' way of pulling on his anger. But Zelma. Gosh. Mm. Yeah, this is not good. No bueno. So I'll see Rob in the next episode. This is a joke. This is a joke, dude. This is Does someone write this and really think this was clever and cool and innovative and compelling? How I'm gonna look been a terrible host. I'm at a loss of words right now. I feel like this was written by Uh, um, that was tough. That was tough to sit through. I'm gonna take my dog out here in a little bit, but let me give you guys this and drop your scores, thoughts, comments on what we just watched. Just finished episode 5 of Ironheart. Glitch is a karma. Karma is a glitch, I believe is the title of the episode. Catchy title. I like the title. That's about the only thing I liked about this episode. That was from the beginning with the White Castle, Toys R Us, Spy Kids, with a little bit of Tasma 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2. I've been saying it from the beginning that the heist posse, is the weakest part of this show, and then this episode really showed its colors with the really bad writing with that crew. That whole fight sequence reminded me of Iron Man 3 when Iron Man was fighting the Nexus or the extremist people, especially the girl in the kitchen, and the banter in the back and forth, the goofiness of it all. Three Stooges of it all was highlighted in the opening fight sequence. And then we go from fighting the Blood Twins, which was goofy as hell, terrible dialogue, to Clown, fighting Clown. And Clown reminds me of the extremist woman from Iron Man 3. That fight was horrendous. But then to make matters worse, we see Ezekiel with his powers, aka Electro. You guys remember Electro from Spider-Man 2, Jamie Foxx. Terrible rendition, adaptation of the character. The fight between Riri and Ezekiel was atrocious. The plot armor of him not killing her. I know he's not a killer, but you could have did much better on executing that. The fake out, the twist, the turns of Parker now is just full on villain. No depth, no development, no nuance. He's just a mustache twirling villain. Understanding that the hood is influencing him. I will say one of the positives, besides the end of this episode, because I was glad it was over, the Dormammu tie-in when Zelma was talking to Riri about where the powers could stem from, which is comic book accurate. There are connections to Hood and Dormammu, so I like that stuff. And I also like the idea. The magic stuff was the strongest part of this episode. Too bad this episode was lacking magic from the writing department. They were all possessed by the Nickelodeon demon, because this was a Nickelodeon CW type of episode. The dad stuff was solid when she had the barf technology, reliving her Iron Head memory. I like that. The look of the suit's pretty solid, coming from the car, tying that back into Wakanda, understanding her importance of the car from Gary. I like that. Everything else, Ezekiel, his turn has been horrendous. His whole now Parker he's the puppet of Parker. Looks like Flubber or something. I don't know. Disney show from when I was a kid. Him going into finding out that his whole buildup of Parker's backstory is he has daddy issues, and it's a theme of the show. All the pillars. Riri lost her dad. Ezekiel lost his dad, and now we meet Parker's dad. Just a one-dimensional bad dad, just to be for the sake of the story. No rhyme, no reason. And this whole time, Parker's been taking out these corporations in order to take over his dad's business. And it was a callback from episode 4. We saw him trying to break into his dad's safe to take over the company. Episode 4 was solid. Best episode of the season. Episode 5, possibly the worst episode of this show. Not possibly, it's the worst episode of this show. I don't want to speak in hyperbole, but this is one of the worst episodes of television I've seen this year. I don't know if they swapped. I know it was the same writer and it looks like the same director from last episode. I don't know if that person switched bodies with the writers of She-Hulk, with the writers of Secret Invasion. That was horrendous. That was a really bad episode of television. That's the penultimate episode, I mind you, where normally Marvel tends to, step their game up with their penultimate episodes, but not this time around. Some may say it was missing the magic. See what I did there? That was rough. That was a rough episode of television. I'm going to take a little walk, get some refreshments, recharge my batteries. And we're going to watch the finale. I'm going to take my dog outside to use the restroom. Just give me about 5-10 minutes. Let's all kind of regroup, think about what we just witnessed. And, the Dormammu, Mephisto was rumored to pop up in episode 5. I guess he might pop up in the finale if he ever pops up. The Dormammu games that we're playing is at all-time high. We'll see what happens in the finale. I'm going to take my dog outside. Give me a little bit, and we'll see you guys in a bit. Goodness gracious, what did we just witness? What just happened? I don't know, man. I'm going to take my dad out. I'm thinking of the terrible dad story in the show. I'm going to take my dog out right quick. Give me a little bit, guys, and I'll be right back. My goodness. All right. And we are back. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Put a one in the chat if you guys can hear me okay. Let's finish up this show. you guys hear me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Get this set back up. Man, I had to clear my hair for a little bit, take the dog out to clear my mind of that nonsense we just saw. All right, let's watch this finale. Am I good? All right, cool. Thank you, Justin. Thank you. All right. Fingers crossed. Press in, and I'm gonna jump right into the episode. It's already on the previously on. I'm gonna skip that and jump right into it. So pressing play now. Actually, let me skip the intro. Let's get right to the episode. Previously on. Saw that. Skip. All right. So we're a minute and 30. All right. Oh man, what was y'all saying when I was gone? The dad said, I figured cut you loose. Cut losses at the age of 12. Yeah, that was yeah, the writing was terrible. Made him listen. Yeah, the reveal was pretty laughable. All right, where are we at? Minute 30. I gotta wait till minute 30. Right? That's the time? Yeah, minute 30. Man, that was rough. Almost there. Catch up. Oh boy. It makes him Parker Robin the Hood. Rushing Dragon. Yeah, the 6th episode. All right. Go ahead and press play right at 1:30. And good. They make up for that nonsense. Oh, is this when he meets the demon? Is this when Mephisto is going to come into the play? Because I remember the image that Marvel shared the last few days over the weekend, and this looks like this is the scene where he's going to meet the person in the hood. Which let's see, is it Mephisto? Let's see. Yeah. That's Sacha Baron Cohen. Here it is. That's it, man. That's Sasha. Oh my gosh. This is Mephisto. That was Mephisto. Oh my gosh. He sound like Borat right now. Did you like it? This is Mephisto that we've been waiting for. You guys like the casting of Mephisto? Justin says perfect casting. I don't know about that, Justin. Your soul. Wow. Wow. So that's how you introduce Mephisto to the Marvel Cinematic Universe after 4 years, 5 years of people whining, complaining. Oh, they keep keep hinting at him, and now we got him. What a waste. Don't you dare bring a Winter Soldier. His own personal Winter Soldier. No. Ezekiel's no Winter Soldier. Don't get it twisted. Oh my gosh. Bro, they gotta stick to land. That ship is sailed. It's a what 35-minute episode, and we're already almost at the halfway point. There's no saving the show because, as Marvel has proven us with these TV shows, it's going to be a big CGI battle at the end. No true conclusion or satisfaction to the story. It's just going to be a CGI fight to end the show. I mean, it's stereotypical Marvel TV show at this point. This is a shame, man. Not liking the puppet Ezekiel. Yeah, Ezekiel lost the plot 2 episodes ago for me, Justin. And honestly, I feel like Riri's kind of lost in these last 2 episodes. Like the characters has been kind of almost forgotten about. Oh my gosh. Did we go on a time machine to 1998 when they didn't take comic book? Oh my gosh. I just knew he was gonna say, "Oh, just know me and you aren't done. We're." And yeah, I ain't getting no season two. I'll tell you that. Based on these last two episodes, he has to be Mephisto. Can't be no more. Yeah, he's Mephisto. Dormammu was in a time loop from Doctor Strange. The woke side of YouTube is gonna like the groin shot. 22 minutes left. This is getting bad. It's Justin. We've been bad for the last two episodes, bro. Are you guys watching this? When did this become Morbius? What is going on? Oh, there should be no reason for him to not kill her right now. I know he's not, but narratively, there should be no reason that he should spare her life. The team's gonna pop up at the last minute. The stupid Rugrat crew. Okay, they got me. They tricked me. So the whole setup right now, guys, it's a little bit on the nose, but Riri relies on the technology, right? And he relies on his magic, and they're nothing without their tech, and they're nothing without their magic. And it's like a moment. It's supposed to be a moment. Mm, but they fail to forget that they haven't built Parker, right? We just learned his backstory in the last episode. So this whole it hurts, I need the pop. Where's this coming from? He's gonna say his name. Mephisto. There you go, guys. Mephisto. Borat. They're gonna make a joke out of it. There we go. Marvel comedy. This is sad. Bring back her AI. That's what you want. Yeah, right. Her stepdad. You think that would be the person she would think of, or both? Yeah. Oh, I love her hair. Oh, she should have had her hair like this all season. I love the curls. So, what you guys think? She take the deal with Mephisto, who's not the devil, by the way. He's not the Satan. He's not the devil. Mephisto is its own kind of like Hela and Death. So she made the deal with Mephisto. This is the real one. It's gonna be the real Natalie. It's the real Nat. Because is she wearing the same clothes that she died in? Okay. This is a vision. All right, we got the truth. We know this is a vision or a hallucination. Is it gonna end on the cliffhanger? I swear. Oh my goodness! If they end with her shaking the hand and they cut the black, see, is there a post credit scene? Let me see. Oh yeah, there is one. Hold on. There's a post credit scene. What? Let me just ponder my thoughts for a second. Okay, 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 okay. So we just finished watching Riri Williams, Ironheart season finale, series finale, potentially, most likely series finale. Titled "The Past Is the Past." 41-minute episode, give or take, probably about 34 minutes of screen, actual story. And Marvel's done it again. They did it again, y'all. There's been, I would count, 2 finales, in my humble opinion. that Marvel has stuck the landing on. I would say Loki season 1, Loki season 2. Everything else has been an absolute failure. And Ironheart is in that batch. So the whole backbone of this episode is built on Parker and his story of revenge and wanting power, greed. We cut back to the scene with him and John robbing his father, who we found out from episode 5 was his dad. After 5 years, because again, I mind you, no one was talking about Mephisto prior to WandaVision and New Rockstar is getting everyone hyped up. It was what? WandaVision. They were allusions. People thought that maybe they were alluding to Mephisto in Loki season 1. Agatha, of course. I think there was one more project, but nonetheless, it's been built up. Mephisto. And Marvel had no plans, from what I understand from Jack Schaefer, the creator of WandaVision, and other creators behind these shows. That really wasn't on the cards, but it was us fans that ignited that fire to bring Mephisto into the MCU. And here we are. The rumors from almost like 2 years ago that Sacha Baron Cohen was hired to play Mephisto. Great actor. You know, I know a lot of us think of him as Borat and the comedy stuff, comedy sketches, which that's a talent within itself, don't get me wrong, but a lot of us take him to be the comedic guy, the funny guy. You know, but I've always been a believer that some of the best comedians make some of the best dramatic actors. Jamie Foxx, Jim Carrey, Richard Pryor. I mean, there's a lot of legends that are, I think, I can go on and on of great actors that have a comedic chop, have that comedic sensibility that can really bring the drama, because they say a lot of the comedians, laugh through their pain. So, he can act. Sasha's a good actor. One of my favorite performances of his is Chicago 7, The Trial of Chicago 7. Trial of Chicago 7, I believe is the title, by Aaron Sorkin on Netflix from a couple years ago. Really good performance by Sasha. So he's capable of giving us some good stuff, but capital MISCAST, miscast. Sorry to say it. I did not like him in the role at all. We meet Mephisto. He makes a deal with Mephisto. And again, Mephisto is not the devil. He's not Satan in the lore of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There is a devil in the world, and I don't know if we'll ever meet, but Mephisto, very similar to how you look at Hela and Death. They reside in the realm of, hell, but there's like sections. There's different portions and people that have certain control within those sections of the supernatural demonic. So, there is a devil, Satan, and there's a Mephisto who occupies his own spot. And as we can see, obviously it has a lot of similarities. Make a deal with the devil. He eats the food, and we see Parker side with the devil. All right, it's the same Mephisto. And it's never confirmed what the deal was. Obviously, you do the deal with Mephisto. He gives you the power. He gives you the tools to accomplish your goals. And in exchange, he never says what it is. One would assume it's your soul, but they never, flat out say that. But it's safe to assume, you're giving up your soul. So all that stuff in that first 10 minutes on paper sounds good. Unfortunately, the execution was lacking. Sasha 1, did not like him in the role. Parker being number 2. Because you want me to believe that after just one episode, I shouldn't even say an episode, after 3 scenes of Parker and getting his backstory and getting what his goals are in 3 scenes, We supposed to take those 3 scenes and say, yep, that's developed. That's fleshed out. It makes sense. Then we have the whole Riri, the suit. Thank you. I couldn't have done this without you guys with, Landon, Ronnie, uh, Xavier, her love interest, which that went nowhere. That just, rushed. Suits were up and running now. The fight at the bar, at the pizza shop. I don't know which one's worse, the White Castle fight or the pizza shop fight with Ezekiel, the puppet, at this point in that fight. And I'll give Marvel TV show, the creators of the show, visual effects, clean, crisp, really good. But the whole back and forth of you got to kick me in the lower regions to reset, all that stuff was ridiculous. And then to add more fuel to that fire, more salt to the wound. The whole, I don't know, man. I can't even think of an analogy, but we've seen it 1,000 times when the villain, anti-villain, anti-hero, Ezekiel in this case, looks at the hero of the story and says, my enemy of my enemy is my friend. So, we can put our beef aside for a second, but just know that we're not done here. We're done. We're done. I don't think we'll ever see Ezekiel again. You're done. You can go in the same closet with Harry Styles as Thanos' brother, with Pip, with Hercules. Just put them all in we'll never see Ezekiel again. I feel bad for Eldon. This Solo. Eldon, you need to get a new agent. You need to reconsider your job opportunities. So he's out there just roaming around, a convicted, felon who's escaped jail. He's just roaming around the streets of Chicago. Then we go upstairs with the fight. Again, Marvel never fails with the trash fights to end their shows. Riri versus Parker, or should I say Riri versus Morbius? Because I don't know what the demon takeover. You might as well mix it Morbius. And then they thought they were cooking, right? Because the whole idea of this fight was like, Riri's been so reliant on her tech. She's nothing without the suit, a la, Spider-Man and Homecoming, Iron Man throughout his film, who is the person within the suit? We know the trope. So she's nothing without the tech, nothing without the suit. Meanwhile, we have Parker. She takes the hood off of him. He's nothing without his magic, right? It's supposed to be the crescendo. We're building to this moment. And it falls flat on his face. And by the way, he's just upstairs now. Soul still intact, I assume. New tattoos. Back to Mephisto. Downstairs eating pizza. About to make another deal with Riri. And I was hoping, fingers crossed, 10 minutes left in the episode. I'm like, there's still a chance. Still a chance you can redeem yourself. Instead, they just keep on pouring the poop in our faces. Pardon the nasty terminology there. He offers Riri similar deal to all the people. He mentions Ringo from the Beatles and different popes and different famous people. By the way, now we're with the introduction of Mephisto, we're assuming that maybe he's come across a Tony Stark in his past. Maybe he's come across other characters. Who knows? Who knows if we'll ever see Mephisto again? Anywho, Riri agrees to be, I don't even know what their deal is. He's allowing her to use the dark magic to to do what exactly? To bring back her AI, Natalie, right? So I'll give you Natalie, not your AI, but the real Natalie from the dead, mind you. That's not going to be complicated. Natalie's brought back from the dead. We see Riri's arm. She's affected now. Look, for the last week or so, there's been a lot of online conversations about, is Riri a hero? Is she is she a likable character? And I was on the side that I enjoy Riri. I think Dominique Thorne is a great actress. I like her in the role. But this show has done some damage. And I don't even know where you go from here with this character in particular. Because now she's literally made the deal with a demon. And the thing that's wild is, like, we don't know when we're going to see Riri again. Post credit scene. We saw the post credit scene. Zelma and Parker are now going to be working together, and I don't know how he knew how to find her. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. I was rooting for the show, y'all. First 3 episodes were a little rough, but I thought it got better. Episode 1 was rough, 2 got a little better, 3 was really solid. Compared to the first 2, and 4, I stand by it. 4 is the best episode of this series. It was looking good. It was looking great. Episodes 4 and 5 has done some serious damage to this character, to her story. I don't even know what to say, man. And I know, Ryan Coogler's name's attached to it. He's just an executive producer. He didn't write any of these episodes. He didn't direct these episodes. And to the credit of the people that did write it, there are moments that they had some solid writing. Again, episode 4, I'll point to that. But this, I can understand why Marvel did not want to put this out for almost 3 years. Because I don't know, what do you do with this? What do you all take away from this show? It's great to see the representation of a black intelligent girl, build her own suit and to fight for the ones she loves. But I think that kind of got lost in the Marvel of it all, as they tend to do. I think of Miss Marvel. I enjoyed her family story, but then they throw in the Marvel stuff. It ruined that show for me towards the back half of the season. Falcon and Winter Soldier, same thing. Moon Knight, same thing. How many times are we going to do this? Oh my gosh. And there's a lot of people I respect out there that's been champion for this show. And, I know a lot of people that enjoyed this show, that saw the 6 episodes, and, to each their own. But I think sometimes it's, it's like you want to champion diversity. You want to champion opportunities and characters like Riri Williams, like a Shiri. We don't have a lot of black representation in Marvel, especially leading their own shows and movies. So it is like sometimes you got to kind of like root for things when it's not, even it's not good. And this is tough. I can't say this is a good show. This was bad. This is bad, and it really sucks because of the lack of representation within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, within the landscape of Hollywood in general. And then, but it just stings when we get trash like this. I'm sorry, it's hard. This was trash. It was almost like episode 4 was like a bottle episode. It was almost like I don't even know. why 4 was so distinctively better than 4 and 5. It's the same writers, same directors. What the hell happened? And I'm just trying to think, like, now I'm just trying to take my own disappointment of the show to the side and just think about grander picture. What do you do from here? What's the next steps? I feel like, Echo, everyone from Secret Invasion, minus Nick Fury. We know we're gonna see him again, but like Amelia Clark's character and like, are they doing this on purpose? Let's put our conspiracy hats on. Right? Are they intentionally making these characters so bad that they like, let's write these characters terribly? We're going to give them diversity. We're going to give them this, but we're going to write them so bad that they don't want to see them again. And they won't ask anymore because we gave you it, right? It wasn't good, but we gave you it. What's the next series? Wonder Man, another black led show. And then Wakanda, The Eyes of Wakanda, whatever the name of that show is. I'm disappointed, man. I'm disappointed because it's just yet another example of just Marvel just throwing shit at the wall and sees what sticks. That's what y'all got to say, man. I'm at a loss for words right now. I'm at a loss for words. And the thing that's crazy to me about like the whole like Marvel burying a show like this or burying a show like Echo, and I think about Daredevil, where it was the whole situation of like Kevin Feige and them, where they looked at the dailies from the first creative team and they looked at it and said, we can't do this. We need to start over, run it back. New team, new writers, fix what you can, which, by the way, I do not like Daredevil, Born Again. But what I'm getting at is the fact that they looked at the dailies and they said, that's not good. This show was scheduled to come out in 2022. Marvel knew what they had on their hands. They go back and reshoot Daredevil, re-Frankenstein it up. But then they just thought that this, we're gonna shelve it for 3 years and then we're gonna throw it at them and hope they catch it. Maybe they'll miss it. This is bad. This is bad for the brand. This is bad for the character. Man. Let's see. So predictable. Did not expect that. So she's not a hero. I thought she was gonna walk away. So Mephisto didn't take it. So I don't know. I don't know what the fuck. Mephisto. I don't even care, dude. Like I don't know what happened at the end there. A bright spot would be Mephisto was good, so good. He got Peter and MJ to sacrifice their marriage. Oh, you're talking about the comic book Mephisto, not this cosplay Mephisto that we got. What's disheartening is the series had so much potential. Yes. Like the conversation about like the reliance on, and this is true in the technology that we live in, especially AI. Like people rely on artificial intelligence to comfort them, almost like they're human. And there's that story with Natalie, the story with her mom, Gary, like the relationships that like I don't know what happened in the writers' room to make them divert to the stuff that did not work. CW, I agree. Now they recommend Wakanda Forever. Yeah. I feel there was a chance of direction midway through and it made crumble the finish line. Yeah. So, what was Riri's character arc? What was the point of this entire series? That is a great question. I think fundamentally, this was supposed to establish magic and technology. Doomsday's coming out next year. For those that, I'm not a Doom expert, but I do know he is technology and magic at the highest level, right? He's a sorcerer, not a sorcerer supreme. He's a sorcerer, well, well within the magic sorcerer sphere. He can handle his own. He can go with Doctor Strange and some of the best sorcerers in the Marvel landscape, and then the intellect, intelligence is up there with Reed Richards, Tony Stark. Um, the intellect is high, so it's like I think the idea is to at least give the audience of an idea of what that looks like when you combine the two. But to your point, at the detriment of a character of a show that just doesn't go anywhere. So to go back to your question about the arc, I don't know what is the arc from Riri. That's the question I would love to know from the writers and creators, because where she starts and where she ends is almost in the same spot. So what happened to he's just chilling. He's out. I mean, just chilling right now. He's he's white, so I mean, he's gonna be okay. I don't know where Zeke is. He's somewhere out there with like I said, in the closet with Hercules and Pip and all those characters we'll never see again. They thought they dropped the mic. Yeah. Anyone else still wondering why they thought Peter Parker had a good idea? That look back. I don't know, man. Marlon Wayans, Fisto would have been off in Moon Knight, Agatha show. Not so much. The concept of Fisto not popping up in the MCU magic properties like WandaVision, Multiverse of Madness, or Agatha all along. Disney said, you know what? Not Disney. Kevin said, you know what? We're going to wait and put him in Ironheart, the finale. That's what we're going to do. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Not during WandaVision, not during Agatha and the whole Ralph Boner reveal. No, we're going to save that for Ironheart, because that makes all the sense in the world. So Riri Williams is just a criminal? We'll just leave that there. You guys are saying some good stuff, man. I'm just as shocked as you all are right now. Forget X-Men. I mean, we got Fantastic Four in a couple weeks. But you know what? They'll probably come. They'll play ball. They'll play ball with the characters that they think matter. But unfortunately, they just, for other characters, they're either forgotten about or they're given the scraps. Yeah. The evidence is damning. Marvel has fun with Monica, Nick Fury, Sam, Riri, Blade, Isaiah Bradley. Yeah. Don't forget Rhodey, who's been a scroll this whole time. I don't even want to open up the conversation about, obviously there's still a lot of, you know, thoughts about T'Challa, but we'll leave that for another day. But yeah, definitely seems to be a pattern. I don't want them. Oh man, oh boy. And where's America Shaw? I don't know. She's somewhere in the multiverse somewhere. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? I'm nervous for Wonder Man. I don't even care at this point, Justin. I'm not looking forward to Wonder Man. I like Yaya. He's a fantastic actor, but as soon as they said that Trevor was a part of it, I was oh, forget about it. I hate the Trevor character. I hate him in Iron Man, hated him in Shang-Chi, and great, obviously, legendary actor. Ben Kingsley, Sir Ben Kingsley, great actor, but terrible character. So Wonder Man's going to be garbage, Justin. It's going to be a terrible show. Yeah, she is. She's great. She's great. She did the best she could. Unfortunately, the writing failed her. Oh, I'm not excited for Doomsday, unfortunately. There's things about Doomsday that I'm excited for. Like I do think the Russos outside of Marvel is terrible, but within Marvel, I don't know what it is, but they just hit on another level. And I just feel like Robert at this point in his career, just coming off of an Oscar, there's no need for him to come back. So there had to be something in that story. But I don't blame you for being nervous. I show him look, Mahershala's off dealing with dinosaurs, which, by the way, terrible movie, but you know, yeah, I'm excited for. Listen, if you guys know me, I'm a DC fan since I was a kid. I enjoy Marvel, but DC's coming, and it's about damn time because I cannot deal with Marvel anymore. Any final thoughts, comments, concerns before we wrap up, man? I'll say this. It's unfortunate what happened with this show. It won't be it's not the first time, won't be the last time, unfortunately. But hopefully, you take your wins with your losses, you learn from your mistakes, you dust yourself off, and you come back and come back better than ever. Hopefully, next time we see Dominique Thorne and Riri Williams, we can all do the Man in Black thing and just erase this show from our memories, retcon this whole thing, and we'll see her again in the Young Avengers next to, Kate Bishop and Kamala and Stature, Cassie, and Elijah, Eli Bradley, and the whole squad. Next time we see her, what is the next? Is the next project Eyes of Wakanda, August 27th, and then the next thing after that is Marvel Zombies this year, and then I know Wonder Man's in December, and then of course Fantastic Four is in a couple weeks in the month. I know Marvel still got some good pitches in them. They still got some stuff in them. I'm looking forward to Fantastic Four, but I think their best days are in the past. But I still think they got a couple heavy hitters in them. But yeah, I was about to say right now my main focus, my energy my excitement is in DC, as it has been for a while. But I'm really excited for this new chapter. Anyway, I appreciate y'all for joining me, whether you're watching this on YouTube, Facebook, or X. I'm gonna probably stay up for the rest of the night and edit some things, some clip outs and some thoughts, and put it together in a way that's a little bit more polished. But thank y'all for joining me tonight. In the meantime, got a Jurassic World Rebirth review on the channel, Megan 2.0, F1. I got a video coming out tomorrow, about a 40-minute video going over all the movies and shows, or the movies I watched for the month of June and how I rank them. So keep an eye out for that tomorrow. And then Monday, Superman. And then the week after that, I Know Jealous Summer, Eddington, Fantastic Four. So keep an eye out for all the good stuff coming pretty soon. I wish this was one of them, but you win some, you lose some. But again, guys, thank you. Hit that thumbs up before you leave. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. And I'll see you all soon. Riri, I'm sorry they did that to you. All right, y'all.